Hello, and welcome to this video on Sitecore Experience Commerce. Today we're going to hear from Kazim Nami, Principal Commerce Architect with Sitecore.
I'm going to be taking you through how to configure a unified search across one of your storefronts, across both structured and unstructured data. We're going to start off with how to configure the content, make changes to it in order to support. We're also going to go through how to configure search itself, and then also, finally, how to configure boosting in order for those optimal results. Just to start off with, here's an introduction to our demo site. This is a freshly installed Experience Commerce 10 SXA storefront site. We're going to be modifying the global search to make it a unified search across structured and unstructured data. So to start with, if I do a search for phone, it's going to show me only products that have phone in the name or the description or some other attribute of that. So we can click through, right? But what we can see is that there's no content coming up and there's also no categories coming up. So in order to make some changes to this so that we can get that unified search, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to do that. Firstly, we're going to make changes to some of the existing data templates, content templates, and then we're going to go and make changes to the actual content once their underlying templates have been changed in order to support subsequent steps. So to start off with, I'm going to go into the content editor. I'm going to actually make some changes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and have a look at these landing pages, and we're going to change the template type from just being page to being a content page. And what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to more easily define our search scope later and refine it to only showing content page templates, as well as products and as well as categories. So let's just go ahead and do that really quickly. Okay, so notice here as well, if I click on landing page and I click on insert, I've only got that quick option of folder, or I can do an insert from template. So what I'll do on this, just for completeness sake, is I'll go and modify the insert options, and I'll add content page to it. And so what that means is now if I click on landing page and I go to insert a content item, it's going to have a quick link there in order to be able to create the content page. So now that that is done, I'm going to go and now add image fields to both the category and also the landing page templates. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because of the way that search works. It comes up with a product image, bit of text, and then a link. So for this example, I'm not going to make any wholesale changes to this. And what I'm going to do is for a category as well as a landing page, we're going to add an image field to them so that when they do appear in the search, there's at least a good user experience. So, but first, let's go and modify the templates, and going back into that exact same place. So under the content page, what we're going to do here is we're going to add a new section. We're going to call it images. We're going to add a new field, call it image, and we're going to call that image. We're going to save that, and then we're going to go and have a look at the category, and we're going to do the same there. Okay. So now that that's done, I will just right click on this node, publish. Going to do a smart publish, publish sub items and related items so I can get both of them together. Okay, so that's good. I forgot to go and publish those the landing pages changes. I'll just right click on there, publish that as well. So what we've seen is how easy it is to change an existing piece of content's type or change its data template, and how it does not require a developer, it can be done by a business user, and then how easy it is to then go and actually change the piece of content as well in order to fill in those additional attributes that we've just created. So moving on to the next stage, we're going to configure search now, and we're going to do that by configuring the search scope, which controls how the search is actually going to be performed, and also we're going to change how the rendering of that search looks using a rendering variant, and then we're going to go to the actual page and make that page aware of the new search scope that we created, as well as the new rendering variant that we created. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, done. So now that we have that set up, those template changes, we're going to navigate through the catalog now, and I'm only going to make a change to one particular category just with the interest of time. And we've got images, we've got image, tenant, storefront. I'll put them in here somewhere. So we've got phones, category. So I'll use that one for this. So I'll just save that one. And then I'll go to the landing page, phones, images. Again, I'll go and find where I put those images, storefront, miscellaneous, content page, done. Publish that. So now that we've got that basic data set up, we're going to go and create what we call a search scope. And this is going to be what gets used in order to tell our search page what to search. And we're going to call this search scope products and content. Click on build query, just clear that out. I've got this predefined, so if I click on search, so we're doing a search across 3 different templates. I've just pasted in the IDs there, and also we're specifying the starting location for our site. So if I click OK, and then I actually go back into it, you can sort of see that a bit better. So I've got templates, it's gone and pulled out the name. So commerce product, commerce category, and also content page. So these are the 3 templates that we're looking for, and we're telling it must start from the home location. So let's save that. Go publish that as well. And so by home location, that basically means that's actually this one here. So this is the root node of our site, where we have our catalog defined, our landing pages, our forgot password, our search, and whatnot, all of our pages here. Okay, so now that that's done, we'll move on to specifying how the search results will look. And to start with, we're going to make a modification to what we call a rendering variant. And the rendering variant we're going to modify is the commerce search results one. Duplicate this one, and we're going to call it product and content. And we're going to go have a look at the Scriben. So this is the out of the box Scriben that we have here. I've got something pre-modified over here, which is pretty much exactly the same, but it's just got a little bit of provision in there for both the displaying of the category image as well as a content page image. So we'll save that. Again, go publish that. Okay. So now we've done nearly all of the groundwork. We need to go and package this up now into the actual search page. We go and open that up in the Experience Editor. Now we've got the search page up. Just notice here how I'm clicking on a couple of these things and it's not highlighting for me as it normally would. The reason why I can't make any modifications to this is actually because there's a reusable control that's on this page, which is what we call a partial design. And if we click on the Experience Accelerator and we click on the partial design, we can see the partial designs that are actually used to compose this page. And as we highlight over them, we'll at least see which one corresponds to which control. So I know that this is the partial design that I'm interested in. So I'll just click on that. And the control that I'm interested in most at the moment is a commerce search results. I'm just going to edit the properties on that. And I'm going to scroll down to the search scope and I'm going to specify product and content as the search scope. And so that's going to tell this page as a whole, because all of these controls are actually linked together, that I'm only going to be querying items within the index that correspond to that search scope that we just created. On top of that, we're also going to tell the commerce search results control to be using the variant that we just created as well, which was for product and content, because the default one just caters for products. And we'll save this. And publish. Okay, so we saw just how easy it was in order to configure search, make changes to the way the search result listing works, change the page itself without requiring a technical person to get involved, do a deployment. So extremely powerful. Everything is available to you within the admin interface. And now we're going to, move on to the last step here, which is basically, seeing those results and configuring boosting, at a few different levels. Now that that's done, and if I go and put the Experience Editor into preview mode, and if we do a search for phone, what we can now see is we've got a content page called phone. And what I've just done here is I've pre-appended the template type before the name of the item that's being shown, just to make it easier for me to explain to you. So we've got one content page that's coming up, which is titled phone, which is this one under the landing page called phone. And then we've got a number of category pages, one of which is called phones, which is the one that we added the image to. And then we've obviously got all of our products as well. This template that is used for them is called commerce product, which is why they're all pre-appended with that. So just to make this a little bit easier, I'll go back into presentation, go back into rendering variants and my commerce control results, go into the Scriven template, and I'll just back out one of those changes, which is this one here, which goes and shows a template name. And so if I go and refresh this page, you can see there's no longer any template names in there, but we know that this one was the content page, followed by categories, followed by products. And there's no images showing for these other ones because I didn't set them. Now the next thing that we can do that's extremely easy as well is we can go back into that search scope and we can start to create some rules. Okay, so when we look at our search, we can see that the very first result is that of the content item, the content page, followed by a number of categories, one of which we actually set the image for. And then we've got products. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to manipulate the way in which these show. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first up, we're going to make sure that products appear first. And so the way we do that is by going back into that search scope and further refining the way that boosting works. And what we're going to do first is we're going to do some boosting based upon the templates. So project, product, and we're going to boost that by 100. Save that, come back here. And so now products are appearing first, as we would expect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to boost that one category that we assigned an image to. Add a new rule. Is equal to, and it's this one over here. Gonna get that ID. And it knows that it's the phones one. And we're gonna boost that by 200. Save that. And what we're going to expect to see now is that the very first item in this result is going to be that single category. And there we have it. And last but not least, we'll add another, whoops, daisy. Going back into template, and we're going to boost all the content pages now, and we're going to make them appear first. So that's a really quick spin at creating a unified search across product and content information within the SXA storefront, working with boosting in order to get the results that you want. And as you can see, it's really quite easy to do in Sitecore Experience Commerce 10. I hope you've enjoyed this video.